We talk about why you're here today. And again, you are here in your personal capacity today to talk about what you see in the economy and as a surrogate of the Harris campaign. What do you see as the potential impact after the election on this front?
I see huge. You were just asking me about disruption associated with storms and ports, and I think that's what you'll see with President Trump. I mean, he is erratic. His plans on tariffs, I think, will be very, very negative for this economy. Not only will they raise prices on everything, he's talking about a tariff on all imports. I mean, that's insane, right? That will raise prices of everything for everyone. It'll also hurt our manufacturing industry. People don't talk about this, but a lot of things made in America rely upon imports of, components and such. It's going to it's going to cost manufacturing jobs. It's going to raise prices on everything. It could kick us into a trade war with certainly China, which we don't need. I think every business leader I've ever spoken with, I used to be a governor, I used to run a business myself, you want predictability, right? You want somebody in the Oval Office who will engage with you, who will listen to you, who will be predictable, who will be smart and thoughtful. That's what you'll get in Kamala Harris, right? You will be able to talk to her and her team, reason with her, lay out your issues, and you will have somebody who is not erratic, who is practical, who's focused on solving problems. I am so deeply worried about the effect on the economy of President Trump. I think it's quite stunning, actually, that you have 400 economists coming out backing her plan and saying his plan will cause economic disruption. I don't think it is at all an exaggeration to think that Trump as president would tip us into a recession. I mean, we've talked
because of the tariffs
economy.
Because of the tariffs alone?
Yes, I do. Because of the tariffs alone, I think he's talking about depending on the day, of course, but he has talked about a 60% or 100% tariff on goods coming in from China. That alone, I don't think we realize the disruption that will cause. A tariff on all imports. First of all, that's anti-American. That would disrupt our economy, global economy. So I think that alone could kick us into a recession for sure. But also, I just think, look, we have had a soft landing, okay? Inflation, we haven't slayed it totally. It is on the way down. We need stability, predictability. And what you will have in him is unpredictable, chaotic, based upon how he feels on a particular day. And I do worry that the tariffs, but last week he said a 200% tariff on John Deere. Where does that come from? That will only raise prices and put people out of work at John Deere.
Well,
so
we can't afford it.
It is way too risky.
When we've had surrogates on for the Trump campaign, they have said that he doesn't really mean any of these things. They would just be tools for negotiation.
Then why does he say them? Why would I believe that? He says it. He's doubled down on it. He repeats it. By the way, he was president. We know what that resulted in. Massive
like you kind
deficits.
of forgot that. Seems like you kind of forgot that earlier. Yeah, and the tariffs that he did put on were continued by the Biden administration. There was no recession. Real wages were actually up. Stock market did well. A lot of very positive things happened. Record low unemployment until the pandemic. So it's just weird to act like it's a complete wild card what kind of president he would be when you've got a blueprint right there of what kind of president he would be. And Kamala Harris has been vice president for 4 years, and we've seen exactly what kind of vice president she would be.
Right. What have you seen? You've seen more manufacturing in this country since any time since World War II.
I've seen real wages go down. I've seen, crime.
That's not true.
What's not true?
I just don't agree with that.
Real weekly wages have gone down. Average weekly wages are still down from when Biden came into office.
When Biden came into office, we saw sky-high unemployment, sky-high unemployment, sky-high
pandemic, but
inflation.
prior to that, it was Prior to that, but before the pandemic, it was 3 points.
Discount. But we've discussed this. You can't discount the Trump administration. You can't say the economy was great during the Trump administration
until the pandemic.
If you somehow exclude the pandemic and then turn around
if you want to do the pandemic, fine. But prior to that, the economic policies resulted in a very good economy.
But then you can't then say, well, the economy was somehow terrible during the Biden administration and pretend the pandemic didn't happen.
Part of the inflation that caused real wages to be down is from the pandemic, but piling on all the stimulus and all the spending is what really exacerbated that situation. Just we've seen both presidents.
None of those things are related to the pandemic.
I just don't think you can say it's going to immediately be a recession when that didn't happen the first time.
Secretary? Madam Secretary?
I would just say 4 years ago, we were saying, could there be a soft landing? It's been a featherbed landing. Inflation's on its way down. Manufacturing is up. By the way, deficits exploded under Trump.
Manufacturing's been flat for 2 years.
And now there is more new manufacturing construction in this country now than in any time since World War II. It's a fact. Manufacturing jobs are on the rise. Wages are on the rise. Prices are coming down. Deficits are high but headed in the right direction, and tariffs will hurt this economy, hurt working people, raise prices, and I worry tip us into a recession.